Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this eye look today. I used the Kathleen Light's Colourpop Dream Street palette. If you haven't seen it before, this is what it looks like. And I kind of wanted to create a look using both the cool and warm tones. I thought that would be kind of cool. And then also, I know this palette came out a little while ago, but I thought I would do a tutorial using this palette because it is more affordable. I believe this is $16, which is so good for all of these eyeshadows. And I think it's kind of a more interesting eye palette. It's not just the normal warm neutral palette, so I thought I would do a tutorial using it. That way, maybe if you're trying to get more comfortable using color and stuff, I think this would be a good palette to go to. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss any future uploads. I'm trying to upload once a week. And then also, as always, if you would leave future video requests down in the comments, I would really appreciate that. We can chat about it, have a talk about makeup. I think that'd be really fun. Anyways, if you are interested in seeing how I created this look, then just keep on watching. Okay, I'm going to start by taking the shade Magical, which is this warm toned color right here. And I'm just going to take it on this fluffy NYX blending brush. And I'm just going to place that on the very inner part of my crease and blend it outwards, but mostly just focusing it here on the inner part of my crease. Next, I'm going to go in with a bit more of a tapered brush to get more detailed into the crease, and this is a Makeup Shack T67 brush. And I'm going to go in with the color Spark right here. And I'm going to be focusing that right in the center of my crease, blending it into the previous color that we laid down and blending outwards. We're basically going to create like a little ombre type gradient thing in the crease. Since this shade is just a little bit deeper than the previous one, that's why I go in with a little bit more tapered of a brush to get more in my crease and it doesn't blow it out as much. And then staying with that same T67 brush, I'm going to then go in with the color Potion right here, which is just a little bit deeper and a little bit more orange, I would say, than the previous color. And again, just popping that in the crease, but this time we're going to focus it on the very outer edge of the crease. And without adding any more product to the brush, I'm just going to take that and also drag it onto the very outer corner of my lid and kind of connect it to the outer corner. This is a BH Cosmetics number 3 brush. I'm not sure what set this is from. I think it might be from the Smoky Eyes set, but it's just a pointed crease brush. And I'm going to be going in with the color Elvish right here, which is just a deep brown. And I'm just going to take that right into my outer corner right here and kind of connect it to my crease and then blending it outwards as well. Then I'm going to be going back and forth between those warmer tones that we just used in the crease and that brown color just to kind of make it all blended seamlessly and there's no harsh lines. And for this look, I just really want to make sure that I'm winging it out here at the end because we're going to be cutting out a shape here with concealer. And I want there to be some shadow on the outside of the shape that we're going to cut out. So usually I like to round my eye looks like this. I just think it suits my eye better. But for this look, I'm going to be winging it out quite a bit. Alright, now I'm going to start going in with more of the cool tones and the blues. I'm going to go in with this BH Cosmetics pencil brush. And I'm going to use the color Water Bearer right here. And I'm going to start blending that right into that brown color that we set down on the outer edge. These colors can probably muddy up pretty easily, so I'm just going to do it really slowly and do more tapping motions than swiping. That way it just places the color exactly where I want it to be. Next I'm going to go in with this super flat shader brush. This is the Spectrum Collections A16 brush. And I'm going to go in with the color Mermaid Boy, which is this kind of duochrome teal blue color. And I put some of that on my brush and then I'm going to spray it with Fix Plus to make it extra metallic. And I'm just going to put that on my lid and then also blend into that previous bluish color that we set down. And I'm just going to bring it right up into my crease where the other warmer colors meet because we are going to be cutting out like a negative space little crease thing here. So it's okay if it's not super neat. And if you need to, as you can see, there needs to be a little bit more blending in between these shades here. So I'm just going to go in with that same brush And I'm going to take that previous blue color and just kind of go back and forth between the shades until they're blended how I want them to. Next I'm going to go in with this tiny little detail brush from Real Techniques. And I'm going to use the color Kaleidoscope right here, and this is going to go on the very inner part of my lid. And again, I'm going to pick some of that up with my brush, and then I'm going to spray it with Fix Plus just so it's extra metallic. And I'm just going to pop that right on the very inner corner. I think this color might be one of my favorites in the whole palette. Okay, and I think before I start cutting out the negative space liner type thing I'm gonna do, I wanna do the lower lash line first, but I need to do my face makeup first. So I'm gonna zoom you out and I'm gonna do my face makeup and then we'll come back to the eyes in a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna start with the primer I always use. This is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Primer, Smoothing Primer. And I just like to put that in my T-zone. It's like usually the only primer I'll ever use unless I decide to switch it up for whatever reason. I just find that this fills my pores how I want to. And then for foundation, I'm going to use my favorite foundation of the moment. This is the Your Skin But Better CC Cream by It Cosmetics. I have the shade Fair, and I think this is the closest match foundation that I own also at the moment. And today I'm just going to use a beauty blender to blend this in. I know a lot of people with dry skin really love this foundation, and I have pretty oily skin and I love this foundation. It's like my favorite. So I think whether you have oily or dry skin, you should give this a shot and you might like it. It's totally true what it says in the name, how it's your skin but better. I totally think that's what it looks like, but it also has the coverage to kind of cover up if you have any breakouts or anything. And then to set my contour area, I always like to set it with a powder. That way it doesn't get patchy when I go to put on my bronzer and contour. And I also like to set my smile lines and my forehead line up here. So for that, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Press Powder. This is in the color Warm Light. And then I'm going to go in with a concealer that I've used before. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I have the color Vanilla. It looks like this. And I've used it before, but I usually just use it to like spot conceal, or I'll put a little bit under my eyes if I'm not wearing any foundation or anything and I just want to like run out the door but cover up some of my dark circles. I'll use this and I really, really like it. But I saw a lot of people mention this in their 2017 best video, and everyone seems to use this under their eyes and like a normal concealer. So I thought I would try that out today. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to put it under my eyes. I'm not sure what the best way is to apply this, so I'm just going to take this Makeup Shack T37 brush. It's like a huge flat brush. And I'm just going to apply it kind of, you know, where I want it, and then I'll go in with a beauty blender afterwards to blend it out. Then I have my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in Fair sitting here on the side. That way I'm going to blend one eye out at a time and then put powder on right after so it doesn't crease. Wow, that blends out so easily from what I just did, because I usually just blend it out with my fingers. I use just such a small amount that I can just blend it out with my fingers and I'm good to go. But with this sponge, it just blends out so easily. This concealer is so cool. It's so different from anything else that I've tried. Alright, now I'm going to start bronzing and contouring. I'm going to use the Kat Von D Shade Light palette, and I usually go in and I mix these two shades here, the two lightest shades. And I'm going to be using a Makeup Shack T20 brush. This is like my all-time favorite bronzing brush. And I'm also going to bring it up a little bit on my temples. And then sometimes when I want to deepen up my contour a bit but still use the same shades, I'll just go in with a more dense brush. This is from the BH Cosmetics like Smoke and Mirrors set, I think, and this is the number 3 brush. And I'm just going to go in mixing those two colors again, and I'm just going to set it right in the hollow of my cheek just to deepen it up a little bit. I'm not a very big blush person. Half the time I won't even put it on, but today I think a peachy blush might look good because of these peachy tones in the eyes. So I'm just going to mix these two from Makeup Forever. I'm not sure what shades they are because they're like weird and they're in the pan, but I will put them in the description if you're interested. And the brush I like to use for blush is the Morphe E4. It's just an angled brush. Okay, this is where I'm going to stop here on my face. I'm going to zoom you back in and we'll finish off the eyes. Okay, and for the lower lash line, I'm basically just going to connect this dark color and bring it down, and then I'm going to mimic what is in the top part of our crease. So I'm going to put the warm colors on the lower lash line. And when I get the colors placed, I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. This is a Makeup Shack T50 brush, and I'm going to go in with that first transition color we used, and I'm just going to make sure it's all blended out. And I'm also going to sweep it outward. That way the lower lash line kind of connects with the top and it's still a winging out shape. Okay, now that the lower lash line is done, this is the part where I'm going to go in and cut out the crease. I'm going to use one of these brushes. You may have seen it in one of my previous videos if you saw those, but I got this set from Amazon, and it's basically a little detail paintbrush set. I can link it down below in the description if you want to see the ones that I got, but this is what I'm going to use to create the concealer cutout. And today I'm just going to use the LA Girl Pro Conceal. You can use whatever concealer you want, obviously, whatever is your favorite to cut out creases. Alright, I'm pretty much going to cut out a negative space liner starting in the inner corner here, bringing it out and making a wing shape out here. So I probably won't be able to talk very well while I'm doing it, so I'll probably speed through and you can just kind of see how I'm doing it. So I'm just going to start off really lightly and kind of make a really light trace of where I want it to go, and then I'll get more product on my brush and actually make the line straight and all that. Okay, and I just want to show you this in case you get concealer kind of where you don't want it to be. So I got a little bit of concealer higher than I wanted to up here, so I just took a Q-tip and I kind of wiped it away really lightly, and then I just took this brush that I had all of these colors on pretty much, and I didn't add any product to it, but I just kind of went over that area and it kind of fixed it. So now I can go back in with the concealer and make it a little bit sharper again. And then once you get the shape that you want, I would take like a translucent setting powder or a white eyeshadow, or I mean if you're doing a different color than this, as long as you're cutting it out with concealer and you're not putting like a different color in it, I would set it with something similar to your skin tone or something, because I have hooded eyes, and if I were to close my eyes right now, the concealer would transfer onto my lid, and we obviously don't want that. So I'm just going to take some translucent powder. I'm going to set the concealer so it doesn't transfer. Alright, and I just applied some lashes off camera. These are the Makeup Shack Mad Eye lashes, and this is the finished eye look up close. Alright guys, and this is the finished look. I went ahead and I added my lips off camera. I put on the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick, and this is in the color Bear With Me. And then on top, just a little bit in the center, I put the Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquer. This is in the color Tease, just in the middle. It's like a pigmented gloss pretty much. And so that's what the lips are. And then also I realized I forgot to put on highlight. I haven't been really big on highlight lately, which is super weird, but I put on the Fenty Beauty, what is this? The Killawa highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal, and this is what that looks like. So I put those on off camera, and this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope maybe you even learned something new. As always, don't forget to go follow my Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. All of it's at tesseffects, and it'll all be down below. And also subscribe so that you don't miss future videos. I'm trying to upload once a week, and so far I've been successful. So yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye!